Hi, Katya Woods, Philadelphia Tribune. Hi, Zoe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Can I just tell you, I saw this film at Sundance, and my anxiety was like, girl, get
Girl,
out,
I know.
pack your things.
Go.
I'm like, I was like, we don't play about stuff like that. That movie would have been, if it had been like real life, 5 minutes. I'm good.
I
I'm
know.
gonna enroll
No.
in community. We'll work it out next semester. But because I was just like, Jasmine, girl, we staying for Thanksgiving. We
Right.
still staying in that room. What
Right.
going on? So how was it for you? Because I'm sure you naturally were like turning the pages. When does she get out?
When does she book the ticket?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I read the script for the first time, and of course, I think the only natural thing to do, I know for me as a Black woman, is to read it and say, I'm gone. I would have been out. I would have been gone. And then I think about, moments like these and different situations like Jasmine's going through, and how easy it is for us. I know for me, it can be really easy to repress, push, ignore, persevere, be strong, in these situations where it's just completely out of bounds. But it's really because nobody else is making it a big deal. And so I saw that struggle. I saw that inner struggle. She had so much to prove, and she felt like she had so much to prove. She wanted to make her mom proud. She wanted to go ahead and finish it out. She wanted for people to finally see how smart she was and how brilliant she really is. And she wanted to fulfill the dream that she had to go to college and just do so good and create this life for herself. And I don't know if she was willing to give it up that quick.
I think I went to a PWI as well. And I think there is this thing where we try to find communion within that space because we're not the majority. And, there are, let's be honest and keep it 1,000, there are microaggressions that we experience, whether it's the classroom classroom environment or meeting with advisors about your career track and things like that. And sometimes you're like, did you say that out loud? Right? You're sitting in the classroom and you're like, you see me, right? Mm-hmm. But the fellowship of having community, my thing also with her was like, okay, you're getting this olive branch. You don't have to suffer alone. There's something about us Black people that we sometimes think that part of our journey to get to where we want to is we must suffer. And I feel like Jasmine is a poster child for that. I'm like, your college experience should not be traumatic. You not having friends, you not enjoying anything. How much of that like resonated a little bit? Because even though we may not have taken it to the extreme that she did, but we all have portions where you're like, today is a lot,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, that was a really hard thing for me to read and watch back. That she felt so attached and close to the idea of suffering for what she wanted or thought she did, and I think that's a really hard thing to come to grips with. And I'm so happy you asked that question, because it really is probably one of the most heartbreaking things about this film. As we talk as Black women, like, we see her really struggling with the fact that you can go, but you're not choosing yourself in this moment. You think you are, but I don't know if you actually are in this moment. And I agree with you. It is definitely a really hard, it's a hard thing to watch.
The other thing too is the women that are the other Black women that are supposed to be there for her are failing her as well. You have a teacher who's giving her grade, and when Regina and your character meet, when Regina and the master and Jasmine sit down and meet, she's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the paper, right? Mm-hmm. It's not structurally wrong. The professor's not giving you feedback on what is it that she wants. She's just basically being judgmental. And then Regina also is like, well, in theory, you're correct. But if you go down this road, it's going to hurt you, instead of being like, hey, let me partner with you. Let me go talk to this woman to find out why is she having expectations of you that she doesn't have of others. So to the system, as well as the people who are supposed to understand her journey, are struggling as well. So what was it like playing scenes with Regina, who's just brilliant, and obviously we know she's hilarious, but to get her to see, to play this woman that seems so anti like her.
Yeah, we've, honestly, I have to say that we fell into that, our dynamic, Jasmine and Gail's dynamic pretty easily. I think that, from what Regina's told me, we saw each other. I always saw Regina as a person that I could go to and kind of rely on in that sense, just in filming. And I think that she protected me in a way, me as Zoe protected me in a way that was similar to what Gail's probably deep intention was, but she may have failed to do. And so that dynamic between Gail and Jasmine was, it was established quickly. But I do think that, that relationship is another really heartbreaking situation. And I was just in an interview with Regina, and she had mentioned that, in some ways, Jasmine was her little self, what she probably wanted to say or what someone had probably said to her: don't give up, just keep going. It's you can't escape it. So you have to just figure out how to push through it. I did it. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard conversation to have, because is it something that you should push through? Is it something that you should stick out? Like, that's, I think, the question that Jasmine had. And she got her answer from Gail. And I think that was the hardest thing probably for her to hear. And so, yes, Gail and Regina have so many similarities, but I think Regina has always showed up for me the way that I needed her to. So that's the good part.
That's good to hear. The other thing is, we as Black people always believe that ancestors are walking with us. You know what I mean? I always feel like, in a way, a part of this is that folklore. The part of it is kind of like the ancestors indirectly saying, get out. You know what I mean? And then there's a part of you that's like, am I crazy? What is happening? Right? And so how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the ancestors are protecting us and watching us? Because, whether it's your grandmother, someone that's passed on, an aunt or somebody like that, sometimes you're like, you know what? I know somebody looked out for me today because it was a tough day and I got something positive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's one of the things that probably keeps me the most sane. I think that I feel like, before the movie and after, I wanted to connect way deeper, and I want to connect way deeper with those that came before, because I know that it's evident in who I am and what I want to do, that the people that came before are just, I mean, beautiful, magical human beings. I really do believe that. And I feel them, and I am happy to feel them. Someone asked me earlier about the supernatural and what I thought about it. And, my experience is so much different than what we see in Master, because, I'm praying to the greatest and highest good energies around me. I'm not, I'm not touching anything crazy or dark. So it's nice. And I also know that they're around and they're present, and Master never made me waver from that. In fact, I think it strengthened it a little bit more.
Absolutely. Well, I enjoyed the movie. Let's pray that your next experience be a little bit more uplifting, and that the ancestors continue to open more doors for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.